So, do the Yankees bring in one of these pitchers? And who? Let's get into it right now. Hey, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a great day too. The hot stove in the hot stove in Yankee land never stops burning. So, the Yankees are still in on either Blake Snell or Jordan Montgomery, according to the reports. And either way, they're going to have to pay a double whammy here, right? They're over the Cohen threshold. So whatever salary they would pay. Now, we already heard that they have a short-term offer out to Blake Snell. It's been corroborated by multiple sources. I went over that yesterday, and it's apparently about 35 million per season, but I don't know how short-term of a deal it is. And that apparently does not include any opt-outs. And we're hearing that it hasn't been rebutted or countered yet either. So maybe it has some teeth. Okay. Now, Blake Snell at 35 million a year is probably going to run 71, 72 million a year for the Yankees as long as they're over the threshold. Remember something to keep in mind. Blake, now in pivot to Jordan Montgomery, let's just say he makes 25 million a year, which is still a pretty hefty salary for him. That's going to turn to 50 or 51 per year. Still a lot of money. Okay. He also does not come with a forfeiture of 2 draft picks like Blake Snell would. He also doesn't come with the forfeiture of $1 million in international money like Blake Snell would. The Yankees are linked directly to the top free agents internationally for the next 2 seasons already in advance. So signing Blake Snell obviously has its benefits, and a short-term deal does not hamstring them for years, but it could limit their ability to continue to dip into the international market on the high end. So that's something that needs to be kept in mind. Now, with Jordan Montgomery, we don't really know right now. Could he land in Boston? Could he land in Philadelphia? And even guys like Jonathan Papelbon are coming out and saying, yeah, the Boston Red Sox should sign Jordan Montgomery. Papelbon was on foul territory talking to guys about this. And it makes sense. I predicted him to Boston a long time ago. And his wife's also doing her medical residency in Harvard Medical there. So they're going to live there. So, but New York is nearby. Philadelphia is nearby. He's shown a preference for the East Coast. He's shown the ability to perform on the East Coast. So as well as Texas, and Texas looks like they're not done. I mean, they're not going to be adding any more players. So he's going to be looking for a new team. And Blake Snell, on the other hand, he's a West Coast boy. So would I be surprised if he signs with a team like West Coast, like the Mariners, the Angels, or whatnot? I would not be surprised at all. So this could also be smoke by Scott Boras to trying to gin up interest, to trying to get an owner to bite in a desperate manner. It could be a lot of things. Okay. And there's a couple of beat writers who love talking about Scott Boras clients. We talked about that yesterday too. So it is what it is. Right. And again, if you had to choose between these 2 guys, Jordan Montgomery, Blake Snell, who would you choose? Either one of them makes the rotation better in New York. Okay. And something to keep in mind, Blake Snell is shown to be an ace in their regular season. Jordan Montgomery is now shown to be an ace in the postseason. And do the Yankees have enough where they currently stand without Jordan Montgomery to get them to the postseason? I think they do. Okay, with the addition of a guy like Jordan Montgomery, does that make him even more formidable in the postseason? Yes, it does also. But does he want to come back here? We don't know. So it's a double-edged sword you're playing with here. So, but the Yankees are in on both of them. And I mean, if I were them, I would just go and say, I would call Scott Boras and say, look, I'm giving you a 4-year offer to both these guys. You have 24 hours. Talk to them. Come back to me with an answer. Otherwise, I'm pulling both offers, and you're not getting another one. Put the onus on them. Okay? These are pitchers. They need to be in camp already. They're not like offensive players. They need to be in camp, even though they're veteran pitchers. So I worry less about them than I do about the young players. But I don't want them to have an abbreviated spring or an abbreviated season while you're paying for a full season. No. So the sooner, the better. It's more important. But we'll see what the Yankees do. We'll see what the Yankees do. And, stay tuned, okay? Make sure, if you're not subbed to this channel, make sure that you sub to that channel, okay? Hit the like button if you enjoy the content, hit the notification button if you want to be kept in the loop on everything, and you want to be at the front of the line as it comes in. I thank you so much for that. I'll make sure you get all the news, all the accurate news, and you're always at the front of the line when it comes in. Okay, so I greatly appreciate it. Now, back to the spring, okay? You know this guy is? TJ Rumfield, okay? Why do I bring him up? Well, he's a first base prospect for the Yankees, okay? And there's been other talk about, Ben Rice potentially being a catch at first baseman, even Spencer Jones being given a first baseman glove, maybe doing a position change or being a first base / outfielder. Well, TJ Rumfield, he batted 222 last year with 17 home runs, 58 RBIs, 8 stolen bases, OPS 757, in only 300 at bats. He had 17 home runs and just 300 at bats. Okay, and he was actually a 12th round pick of the Philadelphia Phillies in 2021. So he's very, very young in the system. Okay, but he's a guy that's turning a lot of heads. And why do I bring him up? Well, he's a better defender at first baseman than either Jones or Ben Rice. So it's a good problem for the Yankees to have. They're deep in position players, no matter where you look. So you've got guys like him at first. You've got guys, you've got guys at third base that can position. You got guys in the outfield. You got them everywhere, deep everywhere in the Yankees. And again, I was talking to Hector and Dane yesterday about this, Dane Huber, and I think we both are hoping that if somebody gets a shot right now at third base, it's Oswald Peraza. He's been the prospect that's unfortunately been falling through the cracks here with the Yankees, and he shouldn't be. So our hope is that DJ, as he's getting older, becomes more of the roaming utility guy that he signed here to become, and Peraza gets a legitimate shot at third base, where his offense has been elite. His defense has been elite. So, but we need to give him a fair shot, like we did Anthony Volpe, to let his offense catch up as much as possible to his defense, to see what we have here, right? That remains to be seen. But keep an eye on TJ Rumfield. He's making masterful defensive plays already in spring training, turning a lot of heads with his glove work, and his bat seems to be not that far behind. So, something to keep an eye on. And he bats lefty too. So again, another good hitting lefty bat from the Yankees in the farm. Now, last piece, Gleyber Torres. He has made it clear so far this spring that he wants to be a Yankee for life. He's even showed a willingness or communicated a willingness to potentially take a discount to stay. But the Yankees obviously have not started extension talks with him, and it makes sense why they've got Juan Soto's of the world that they need to make sure that they can extend as well. And the Yankees apparently already have a plan for that too, according to Anthony Rizzo and Aaron Judge. So, or at least a strategy. But what should you do as the Yankees for Gleyber Torres? And there's so much infield depth behind him that do they even need to bring him back? You give him a QO and let him walk with Yankees will get 2 draft picks and get international money back. So they can do the same thing with Alex Verdugo if he has a good year too, because he's going into a contract year as well as Juan Soto. But obviously, 1A is re-signing Juan Soto. Okay, and if they figure they can somehow, if they somehow decide that it's going to be too much of a drop off between Gleyber Torres' offense and anybody behind them in the farm, then we might want to keep him here, especially if we can get him on a reasonable deal. He's only 27 years old. He's still young. So, I said months ago that I didn't see a path for him. Maybe now they're actually thinking about it. I don't know. I'm not speaking for them. I don't work for them, so I can't speak for them. But maybe they're looking at it again because there would be a drop off, especially if he has another year like he did this past year. There would be a drop off offensively. Unless the Jarrett Cerners of the world develop mightily, unless the Yorbit Vivases of the world develop mightily, right? So they need these guys. And then you've got George Lombard behind him. You've got Roderick Arias. You've got a plethora of infielders here. So, but is Gleyber Torres going to stay that far ahead of these infielders is the question. We don't know. but he did communicate. He did say he wants to be a Yankee for life. They haven't started extension talks, and again, he even understands why. So, but the fact that he's cool about it is a plus for him. Now, we'll see what happens this year. We'll see what happens after the season as well. But something I would keep an eye out for too, and I would keep an eye out for TJ Rumfield. Okay, Rumfield, and keep an eye out for the Yankees hunt here of which pitcher they would bring here if they do bring one. Again, you know, if you can get Montgomery, if you can, for $10 million less per year, that's automatically $20 million less per year you'd be putting out. So the math adds up either way. And again, we've already known what Jordan Montgomery can do here. The question is, does he want a reunion? And if he does, how much are we going to pay for it? So, and I know I like to say it's not my money, this and that, but it does make sense. I care about this stuff too. Okay. I don't want them hamstringing themselves for years after that either. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Have a good day, guys.